Merry Christmas, or as we like to call it in 2025, Happy Holidays, or just the annual audit of everything that we can't afford. We're sitting here in the final weeks of 2025 and we're all participating in this massive global ritual. We're surrounded by lights and by trees and by this festive spirit, but do you still notice how hollow it still feels? If you followed our journey with Samiksha's State of the Debate, you would know that we recently, only this summer, started this channel, and we've already broken down really key topics that really impact society today, such as the fertility crisis. And today what I really want to do is connect all of the dots together, because Gen Z, we're finally entering this kind of big chair of adulthood, and the secular path that we were promised, where we all give in to our algorithm, it's not only proving to be really difficult, but also kind of impossible. And it turns out that the one thing that we were promised that we don't need is what we actually need: God. Let's talk about the job market. For years, the state of the debate was about which degree gets you a job. In 2025, or 2026 as we're going into, the debate is about whether any entry-level degree can actually compete with a large language model. AI isn't just about automating factory work, it's about hollowing out the adulthood training grounds, which is essentially your junior analyst roles, your copywriter gigs, your entry-level legal research. These are the places where you learned how to actually be a professional. Now, those rungs on the ladder are just gone. We are entering a workforce where being human, with our needs for sleep and breaks and having a wage that actually pays the bills, is not seen as a good thing. It's actually seen as a negative. When your value is based purely on the output that you produce and robots are faster, where do you find your worth? If you don't have a higher power telling you that you matter simply because you exist, you're going to spend your 20s in a state of permanent burnout, trying to outrun the algorithm. You can't self-care your way out of an existential crisis. This ties directly back to our deep dive into the fertility crisis. 84% of us are delaying kids because of economic anxiety. But there's actually a deeper problem here. We were told that modern feminism was about choice. But in 2025, that choice has been completely hijacked. It's no longer a choice to work, it's a requirement for survival, for the culture. We've unbundled the family and replaced it with personal growth. But we're finding that personal growth is actually a very lonely house to live in. This is called the adulting glitch. We've essentially removed God from the framework that places the family, the community at the centre, and we've replaced it with the self at the centre. But the self is a pretty terrible God. The self is fickle and gets tired and has no objective kind of compass to guide the self. We've been liberated from the pews or from the temple or whatever, but we're actually enslaved to a housing market and social media that tells us that we're too good or we're not good enough. And if you think that this optimization culture is as exhausting as I do, then make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. It is the easiest way to help this channel grow, and also to leave a comment with your thoughts. I read through all of them. I want to know what you think about what I'm saying so that we can keep on building this community and talking about the issues that you actually care about. Let's make sure that 2026 is our biggest year yet. And honestly, share this with at least one other person who is currently feeling burnt out by all of this adulting. Let's build a community that's actually looking for something deeper. We've been sold this version of freedom that isn't actually freedom. In the old world, God was the adult in the room. He was the fixed point that said, you are enough simply because I made you. Without that, Gen Z is kind of left in this state of performance adulthood. We aren't just working a job, we're performing the career. We aren't just living a life, we're curating a brand. And the reason we're all so burnt out isn't just because we work long hours or whatever. It's the fact that we have no objective flaw to fall back on when we fail. When your worth is tied to your optimization, failure isn't just a setback, it's an existential crisis. If you lose your job to an AI in 2026, or your Substack doesn't hit the numbers, you should definitely subscribe to the Substack just so that you can read exclusive articles and know behind the scenes updates. It's totally worth it, I promise. Or you can't find your way into the housing market under the self as God model. That's your fault. You didn't work hard enough. You didn't grind enough. You didn't brand yourself well enough. But when you reintroduce a higher power into the equation, the burden shifts. You realize that you're a character in a story. You're not the author of the entire universe. There is a massive life-saving relief in admitting that you aren't in control of everything. So why am I talking about God on a Christmas special? Because in 2026, turning to God is the ultimate act of rebellion. Think about it. The system wants you to be a data point. It wants truth to be fluid so that it can sell you a new truth every Tuesday. By reaching for a higher power, an objective, fixed and unmoving guide, you are opting out of the chaos. It provides a moral flaw in a world of cancel culture and free speech violations. God provides a grace that the internet doesn't. It provides objective value. You don't have to brand yourself for God because He already knows you. It provides guidance. Adulthood is terrifying because we have 1,000 choices and there's no map. But God is the map. He is the adult in the room that our generation is desperately searching for in the form of wellness gurus and podcasters. Worshipping is very natural for humans. It's why we worship celebrities and politicians. We're looking for a father and we're finding him in all the wrong places because we are too afraid to just look up. Christmas is the one time of year where the secular world accidentally admits it's lost. We like the lights because we're afraid of the dark. But maybe this year, instead of just looking at the lights, we should look at what they're pointing towards. We aren't failing at adulthood, guys. We're just playing a very high-stakes game without the rulebook. But I want to hear from you. Drop a comment. Do you feel like the lack of God is what's making adulthood feel so heavy? Or do you think that we can build a new map without God? Substack. If you want the full articles and if you want exclusive insights, make sure to head over to the Substack. The link is in the description below. And make sure to share this episode if you have a friend who's currently feeling really overwhelmed with their career or with university. Send them this. Let's start a different kind of conversation this Christmas. I'm Samiksha, this is the state of the debate. Stop trying to be the god of your own life because you're doing a terrible job at it, and I hope to see you in the new year 2026. We are working on some incredible things behind the scenes, and I hope that you're going to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to our Substack so that you don't miss anything. See you in 2026.